everybody. My name is Meredith Moore. I am a junior at PC. I'm majoring in economics. For today's Sam Club interview, it is my pleasure to host Keri Festa. Keri graduated from PC in 2013, and she is a finance leader for Milliken and Company. Welcome, Keri.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Would you start by telling us a little bit about your experience at PC?
Yeah, so like you said, graduated in 2013. I majored in economics and business administration and concentrated in accounting and management. Wasn't exactly sure what path I wanted to take. My husband also went to PC and played football there. Um, he got to stay an extra semester, and I was a little jealous of that because I loved my time at PC. So I graduated on a Saturday and started working on Monday, and he got an extra summer. So I didn't like that too much, but I love my time at PC, and I can't imagine a better college experience. So
it's awesome. How did your time at PC shape your perspective on the business world?
I think that having the small class sizes helped us engage in like conversations and with the professor and with your students. And I think through internships and also through the Maymester I did going to China, I think that really helped give me some perspective on what the real world looked like. You know, we got to visit some manufacturing locations and work with different people and see the world just through some different eyes. So I really appreciated that part of it. And I think that gave me a different perspective and kind of helped prepare me for the real world.
Exactly. That's awesome. What does Milliken and Company do, and what responsibilities do you have in your current position?
So Milliken has a pretty diverse portfolio, and it's kind of broken into 4 segments. So we have the chemical division, textile division, floor covering, and healthcare. And then we also have a consulting firm as well. So I work in the textile division, and I've worked at a few different locations now, and all of them produce fabric. And so I have learned that fabric goes into a lot of things that you would never think about, as far as we have made fabric that goes into duct tape that I wouldn't think about, fabric that goes into airplane seats and roofing products and drywall, into uniforms and napkins, things that you would think about maybe. But so it touches a lot of different segments. And I think that has helped us a lot with adapting during these COVID times as well. I would say, how do my responsibilities kind of play into the role? One of our CFOs, he said once that, and he would say this all the time, it would say that our job as finance leaders is to protect the company's assets and to ensure the integrity of the numbers. And so I feel that my role as a finance leader is to provide dependable data that our leaders can use to make key decisions. So I think that's my biggest responsibility, is just to kind of be a good steward of our money and our assets and help people make decisions. So.
Yes, very important. You touched on COVID briefly, but how has the past 6 months changed the way Milliken and Company has done business?
Yeah, I think that so these have been unprecedented times for sure. COVID has forced us to adapt to a new norm. So for us, I actually still am working in the plants. We are considered essential workers. So, day to day, we're still going to work, but, it looks a little different. We do our temperature checks at the door. We wear our mask. Not as many in-person meetings, a lot more virtual like we're doing now. And we've really learned to adapt to that. I would say from like a business side, I think Milliken's done a good job of being able to work with our research and development teams to get new products out there into the market. And our manufacturing locations are the ones that are producing these things and working with the development to get them out there in a timely manner too. So, when COVID hit, it was kind of a panic. And I think that Milliken did a really good job pivoting and getting something out there to kind of help fill up the volume and meet what our market needs right now. And I think another thing for us that we've had to adapt to with COVID is, especially for the associate side, is the ramp up in volume, going up and down. Not really sure what to expect. It's been a little scary, but I think our senior leadership team has done a really good job in kind of helping keep us not from being scared and kind of having a path to where we think we might be going forward. So I think some of the biggest things for us that we've learned through all of these unprecedented times is that flexibility and being willing to adapt is kind of like keys to success during this. So, yeah.
Yes, of course, of course. What do you like the most in your position as a finance leader?
I think I like the people I work with, which is kind of cliche, but I think that that goes a long way with, if you like your job and what you're doing. Parts of the job that I like the most is that while there is routine and I do have certain things I know are due, there are new projects all the time. So I'm always being challenged to learn something new. And especially going to different technologies. So I've worked with 4 plants now. And so I've learned different sides of the business, which I have really appreciated. So I like that side of it. I liked learning the new technologies and new projects. So, yeah.
Yes, you've had lots of learning experience and lots of different changes. Has anything in particular challenged you since graduating from PC?
I think that, each new role I've kind of moved into, they've kind of been the same position, but, new plant, new people, new businesses. So you've had to kind of adjust to that. So with all of that is kind of time management and, work-life balance, just knowing like, hey, it's time to go home right now. And I think since having my son, that's kind of given me a new perspective too, that family is the most important thing and that, you can find that balance. And I think liking where you work kind of helps, find a good line and a good balance. So I think that's been the
Yes,
biggest challenge.
understandable. With the benefit of hindsight, is there anything you would recommend students doing now to prepare for their career?
I think that some of the biggest things you can do now while you're in college and you have the opportunity before you're kind of settled in a role is internships. So network and meet new people. And, if you think you want to be an accountant, then get out there and try to get an internship doing something with accounting, just so you'll get a feel for what it's like. Because a lot of times you leave school and you have no idea what these roles really mean. I kind of have 2 stories. My sister is one example. She thought she wanted to be a teacher, and early on she did some student teaching before her senior year, thankfully, and realized that teaching's not exactly the venue I want to do to help children. And so she decided she wanted to go into social work. So she kind of changed her path after doing that student teaching and decided that social work would be a better fit for her. So she, graduated, went on and got her master's in social work, and she really enjoys that now. So kind of a story about me. I minored in pre-law. I don't know if I said that earlier or not, because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. And so one summer I worked as a runner at a lawyer's office. And while I know that that is not what lawyers do, I realized that that was not necessarily the atmosphere that I wanted to work in all the time. So being a lawyer was something that I didn't think was, maybe for me after that, but I'd already started the pre-law minor. So part of it was you had to have an internship in a law field, and most people would work for a lawyer's office. Well, I'd already done that and knew that I didn't really want to do that again. And so I actually worked for the Board of Election in Lawrence, and they approved it, so I guess it was acceptable. And it was during an election time. So I actually, after that semester, I kept that job for the rest of the time at PC, and I really enjoyed it, but it also showed me that I didn't want to do that either. So, I think it was good to get that experience and kind of made me know that I wouldn't regret it, that I did try some of these things, but it wasn't exactly the path I wanted to do. So I think just take advantage of networking, trying new things and kind of testing it out. It's almost like a free time to test it out before it's just full time and you're, have bills to pay. So you have to keep your job. So
For sure.
yeah, so I think that's just a good way. One thing I would say about that is just like take them serious, and because you don't know, maybe it's not the field you want to go in, but they may know someone. I think that networking will go a long way, and do a good job. And you can use them as references at least, so that way you have somebody you've worked for who can say good things about you, and that will help to kind of set you apart.
Right. That's awesome. One last question. What was your favorite place on campus?
Favorite place on campus? We'll say, I'm not going to say the fraternity houses because that would be bad. I'm just kidding. No, I think that one of my favorite places, I love just our dorm rooms, like the community halls. So just meet with all the girls, especially freshman and sophomore year when you're really getting to know everyone, just everybody watching, like, I don't even know, The Bachelorette or something around the big TV and all of us out there. I think that gave us like the real college experience and just a lot of bonding time too. So I guess the dorms. That's where we got all our girl time, and it was fun. So it's the only time you get to live with girls forever. Now I'm stuck with my husband. I don't get to live with all the girls. So, I miss that.
Yes, surely a good time. Well, Keri, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you for having me. It was fun.